If you don't grasp the massive shift happening right now in non-US dollar stablecoins, you're willingly choosing to miss out on this single largest liquidity event in modern financial history. Seriously. Well, everyone's been staring at the US dollar. They're completely missing the real story. Okay, let's just jump right in. The real revolution here isn't about tokenizing the dollar. It's about capturing a slice of this number. $8 trillion. And that's not some total market cap. That is the amount of money flowing through the global foreign exchange market every single day. A huge chunk of that is about to come on chain. So here's the key takeaway, the thing you have to get. The real holy grail for this whole space was never about replacing a single currency. No way. It's about becoming the settlement layer for all of them. And by the end of this analysis, I promise you are going to understand exactly how this massive shift is being engineered and which asset is sitting right at the very heart of it. All right, let's get into the big twist. We've all been watching the stablecoin market just explode, right? But we've been looking in the wrong direction. We believe 2026 is the year we finally hit that holy grail. And it's all because the real strategic boom is happening with stablecoins backed by currencies you might not be thinking about. The British pound, the Japanese yen, even the Brazilian real. Now, this chart is really interesting because it shows the trend just as it's starting. Sure, USD-backed stablecoins still get all the headlines, making up about 73% of new launches. But that other 27%, that non-USD sector is where the explosive strategic growth is really happening. That figure is just the tip of the iceberg. Fiat money is moving on-chain at a historic pace, and it's a worldwide thing. And look, this is not just some theory. The actual infrastructure for this new multi-currency world is already being built and proven out. On ledgers like the XRP Ledger, we are already seeing this ecosystem of verified, non-USD assets pop up. You've got the Australian digital dollar, euro-backed tokens, and even a Brazilian real stablecoin from Brazabank. The rails are already laid. Okay, so let's move on to the next piece of the puzzle because this is where it gets really serious. The big catalyst, the thing that proves this is happening right now, is the fact that traditional finance giants are jumping in. Wall Street isn't just on the sidelines anymore. They're in the arena and they are building.
Just look at this number for a second. Over $57 trillion in stablecoin transfer volume in 2025 alone. You see, this isn't some niche crypto experiment anymore. Not by a long shot. This is a rapidly growing, super efficient payment rail for businesses. And when a market gets this huge, it doesn't just get noticed. It attracts the titans, like Fidelity.
Now, before we break down why Fidelity's move into stablecoins is the final signal for every other major bank to get on board, let me be very direct. If you are watching this without a subscription, you are missing the alerts. The algorithm will hide this content next week. Click subscribe right now to stay on the timeline. This quote really says it all. You know, when a massive firm like Fidelity, a company that manages nearly $6 trillion in assets, decides to launch their own stablecoin, it's not just another project. It truly is a watershed moment. This gives the entire on-chain payment ecosystem the ultimate institutional stamp of approval. Okay, so you've got all these different currency tokens coming online. Pounds, yen, euros, you name it. So how are they all going to transact with each other instantly, with almost no friction? Well, this is where we find the engine that's going to power this whole system. This slide just perfectly lays out the problem and the solution. It's night and day. The old legacy system is this tangled, slow mess. We're talking days to settle a payment, high fees everywhere, and you have to rely on this clunky, outdated network of correspondent banks. The new model, using a neutral bridge asset, just completely changes the game. Settlement in seconds, super low fees, and direct transfer of value. So let's be crystal clear on this point. Stablecoins don't replace an asset like XRP. They amplify its main use case. That foreign exchange market moves $8 trillion a day. That's the gigantic pool of liquidity that Ripple and the XRP Ledger are designed to tap into. By being able to host all these different stablecoins, XRP is positioned to be that neutral bridge, settling transactions between any two currencies in seconds, not days. Now, a financial revolution on this scale, it can't happen in the dark. And it's not. This whole shift has the explicit regulatory green light from G7 nations. The financial highways are being paved and the rules of the road are being finalized as we speak. And things are moving fast.
In the third quarter of 2025, the UK's regulator put the final touches on its framework for pound-backed stablecoins. By the fourth quarter, Japan did the same for the yen. And then, boom, by the first quarter of 2026, a major player like Ripple had already locked in the licenses to use these new institutional rails in both countries. The dominoes are falling, and they are falling right into place. Okay, a quick, specific note for our viewers in the United States. What you're seeing happen in the UK and Japan, that is the blueprint. That regulatory clarity is the future. You need to pay very close attention to what's happening internationally, because it's what's coming your way. Don't get left behind while the rest of the world races forward. This entire landscape is changing by the week. It's moving too fast for just weekly updates. For instant alerts, the second a new jurisdiction or a new regulation comes online, you have to be in our Telegram channel. Scan the QR code on the screen right now, or just use the link in the description. You'll get the updates first. So let's pull all of this together. The technology is proven, and it's here. The big institutional players like Fidelity are making their moves, and the global regulators are not only on board, they're paving the way. The pieces of the puzzle aren't being assembled anymore. They are locked in place. So the core takeaway from this entire analysis is simple. The target isn't just crypto, it is the $8 trillion a day foreign exchange market. The key to unlocking all that liquidity is non-USD stablecoins. The entry of giants like Fidelity is the institutional validation we've been waiting for. And an asset like XRP is perfectly positioned to be the neutral bridge engine that powers the entire thing. This is obviously a huge shift, and I really want to know what you think. Head on over to our latest community post right here on YouTube and drop a comment with your thoughts on this timeline. We go through and we read every single one. And all of this leaves us with one final crucial question. The rails have been built, the major banks are coming in, the G7 regulators have given the green light. So, which country's currency is next? Which one is about to be fully tokenized and brought on-chain? Well, in our very next explainer, we're going to break down the 3 specific nations that our research shows are set to launch their own sovereign-backed stablecoins before this year is over. Trust me, it's an analysis you are not going to want to miss. So make sure you like this analysis, share it with someone who needs to see it, and subscribe to Crypto Global News to stay on the timeline. And go ahead and click the video card on your screen now to see our breakdown of the next 3 nations that are joining this revolution.
Stay ahead in the crypto market. Subscribe now for the latest global news and updates.